Hey guys, we are back with episode 39 of Dive Bar Comedy. I am Wild Joe. I'm here with GT. What's up?
What's going on, Wild Joe? Yeah, we're doing it. You know, our podcast is getting a lot of attention. People are talking about it. It's a huge buzz. I can't believe it. Everywhere I go, people want my autograph. You know, people like putting up the red carpet for me everywhere I go.
Are you signing any tits? Have you been signing any Hooters lately, GT?
That's what I did back in Tucson and back in 2001. And it's been a while since I signed some girl's ass.
I bet you really miss it. I'm sure it happened to you a lot, and you probably miss it now.
Yeah. Some blonde chick wanted me to ride on her ass, and there was a guy clinging on to her, like I thought it was his girlfriend, and then she hits me up in the internet. She goes, hey, remember me? You signed my ass and tits, and I go, yeah, I remember you. You were with some guy. He goes, no, that was nobody. I was like, oh man, I think she was from UC Arizona or something like that. I mean Arizona State.
Wow, what an experience. Memories that'll last you a lifetime. So exciting for you, GT. Well, hopefully we don't have very many groupies at the comedy shows. They're not as sexual as the rock star groupies, so hopefully we'll get some sluts out to the comedy shows and GT could start signing tits and ass again like that one time he may or may not have done in 2001, so that he could have memories to last him the next 20 years.
Those were the days. In Tucson, in Portland. I opened up for Chris Brown back in 2005 before he blew up. And there, too, I had broads coming up to me. And I used to go to clubs. I used to say, hey, this is GT. Remember me from Jamming 95, PK's Radio Morning Playhouse? He goes, yeah, I know you. Oh, my God, I'm a big fan of you. And we used to make out.
Okay. I'm having a hard time believing these stories, but that's okay. GT has a big rock star ego in his own mind. He also says, I think we've talked about this before, that the girls in high school would scream when he walked down the halls. They would just see him and start screaming. I don't know why. I find these stories just hard to believe. I have never seen it with my own eyes.
Well, I was like Fonzie, I was like John Travolta walking down the hallways. And I went to the same school where Grease was shot.
Wow. Speaking of Fonzie, I was thinking we had a baby. He came out looking just like the Fonz. That's what I was thinking. His hair. He has a full head of hair. He looks just like, John Travolta or as I've already had in mind, the Fonz. That's what we should have named him, Fonzie.
Yeah, the baby has a rock star hairdo. I can't believe it. But he has black hair with a rock star hairdo.
He has sideburns. He has kind of like a swirl in the back. He has like spikes on the top and a receding hairline, like with the point in the front. And he has like a 35-year-old man's rock star haircut. It's pretty impressive. I've never seen anything like it on a newborn baby.
He looks kind of like Elvis in a way, Elvis hairdo. And he could join a band already. He's got the style to join a band or a boy band or something like that.
Yeah, really young boy band. Very, very young boy band. But I was shocked. He came out really, really cool. Cool looking baby.
3 nurses complimented my son for his dick. They told me how good his dick looks.
They were complimenting the doctor on his great circumcision. He did a great circumcision, and I guess there are some really botched ones from what the nurses say and the other doctors that some guys have to live with like too much or too little or uneven foreskin for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, Dr. Brock I was iPhoning him right above his shoulder. I was videotaping him. The doctor circumcised my son, and man, my son was at first he wasn't in pain, and then was in pain, and I saw his foreskin get cut off, and I was thinking he's never ever gonna see his foreskin. He will never ever see his foreskin for the rest of his life. And I saw his foreskin on the tray, and foreskin it, put it in some box, and I was saying, we know what, doctor, I wanna donate my son's foreskin to research, and let them use it for research. And I was hoping, and then I found out that it got fed to rats, and the rats ate my son's foreskin. Maybe just so they could grow bigger dicks.
That's a lovely story, GT. Lovely story, but yeah, it was. He will be able to see his foreskin because you filmed it, and I didn't want to watch it because I thought it was going to be disgusting. But I finally watched it. The baby barely cried. He cried a lot more when he had to take a bath. They do numb the babies before they do the procedure. Like, they don't just... In the olden days, they said, oh, babies can't feel pain, and they would just cut it. But babies can feel pain, or else why would they be crying their heads off? But no, it didn't seem to hurt too much, and it was a very interesting procedure with, like, safety pins, like little safety pins, because they're working with this very small area, and they pin the skin, and it goes through this little device, and I wasn't exactly sure of everything that I was seeing, but it was very interesting. I didn't think I would enjoy watching a circumcision video as much as I did, but the one thing about this doctor, he's Jewish, which may help because that's part of the Jewish culture, and also he's my doctor. I thought the pediatrician would do the circumcision. It's actually the OBGYN that does it. He's the woman's doctor. But he's been doing this for probably 30 years or more. He's been my doctor for over 20 years. So he is one of the best and has a lot of experience, and he obviously did a good job, or the baby wouldn't have gotten all those compliments on his newly circumcised penis.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the dickhead going in and out of its shell like a turtle head. It's going to look nice and polished. And that's going to get him a lot of blowjobs.
Yeah. I thought about maybe waiting until he gets older and can make the decision for himself, because my mom pierced my ears when I was like 1.5, and this hole that ended up ripping, and I have like, instead of earring hole, I have like two little slits, and I can't wear earrings, and I would have to get it like surgically fixed if I ever wanted to wear earrings again. So I kind of always was against doing body modification to a baby or a child that can't make their own decisions. But in the case of circumcision, if you wait past like 60 days or something, they said past 12 pounds, that it's a whole new procedure where they have to put them to sleep under general anesthesia, and it's a much bigger deal. And then there's the recovery time and more pain, and it's a much, much bigger deal to wait and do it when you're older.
I got circumcised in the 2nd grade. It was painful. It was a painful procedure, and my foreskin got tangled up in my fly. Used to always get tangled, like get pinched. I used to feel the pinch, not tangled up. I used to feel a pinch, and sometimes it'll come out of my underwear, and then when I put up my fly, I'll feel a pinch. And my grandma was like, you know what? I think it's time for you to get circumcised. And I said goodbye to my foreskin. I looked at it for one last time. I said, bye-bye, foreskin. I'm going to miss you.
So would you say you miss your foreskin?
Well, thing about it is, when you get circumcised, your penis, the round part in the front, it's open now. There's nothing protecting it, and it gets it gets bumped around. When I first got circumcised, it's like a weird feeling, and then what happens is after a while, it creates more and more skin over it, almost like a protection, and it's not really a skin, some sort of layer of protection over the dick, like that part, the round part, and it becomes less sensitive. It's less sensitive. That's why I usually have sex for much longer than most men, because I could go on for much longer, last longer, because I'm circumcised. That's my theory.
Yeah, but I would say in the United States, almost everybody is circumcised as far as people at our age of, born in the 70s or whatever. Now I hear it's less common, but I've traveled around the world and I've met a lot of people from other countries. There are definitely, in Europe, nobody is circumcised. England, Italy, Spain, Brazil, they're not circumcised. So I've seen both types, and I guess it depends what's popular in your country, what people are used to. But yeah, the length of time to have an orgasm or that kind of thing doesn't seem to be different from one to the other. And if anything, premature ejaculation is a more common problem with guys anyway, so you don't need it to be like so sensitive that they're coming in 3 seconds when they have sex with a girl. I mean, that's not what girls want anyway. And at least as far as the women I know who are, like I said, they're an older generation than the ones that are born today, they prefer the look and the cleanliness. I mean, I guess it depends how clean you decide to keep it, but it seems cleaner to have like no folds and skin that things could get trapped underneath and whatever. I would say that at least American women prefer to suck a circumcised dick. Maybe put a condom on. They don't care one way or the other, circumcised, uncircumcised, as far as sex goes. But as far as a blowjob, I would say a circumcised dick will get more blowjobs in the USA.
I got circumcised when I was probably 10 or something like that, and something like that. I don't remember exactly what age. What was I, 7 or 8? Yeah. And I remember those stitches. I got stitches. There was all stitches all around my dick, all around my dickhead, and it was painful. And those stitches were coming out one by one. And I remember those black stitches. And I remember I used to get hard sometimes. Being that young, I used to get hard. I didn't know what that meant, getting hard. But every time I used to think about my teacher, Mrs. Hoffman, that blonde, hot teacher. She was semi-hot, but she was pretty attractive. And used to get hard, and then it used to hurt me. Blood used to flow through my penis. It used to get ow, ow. It was painful, but it was. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, that was the other surprising thing with this baby. There were no stitches. I don't know how it stayed closed. I don't know how they did that with no stitches. There was not a single stitch at the end of it.
Yeah, they just cut it. He just cut it off like a can opener. Like, it's pretty simple. I'm like, aren't you gonna stitch it up? He goes, no. He's a little baby. You don't need to stitch it up. It heals really fast.
Yeah, it did. It seems to have healed really fast. Hasn't been a problem at all with the diaper changing. What has been a problem are the balls. The balls, I had no idea. I'm not a man. I've never had to deal with balls before. But the newborn baby's balls look like a senior citizen's balls. They're like a man's balls. They're baggy, saggy, with wrinkles and with lots of extra skin. So the shit is going in the wrinkles and folds and to the sides, and it's really hard to clean. It is a lot more challenging to change a baby's balls than it is, little girls. It's pretty easy to wipe them clean. Boys, it's pretty disgusting. So I'm guessing that every man is walking around with shit all over the back of their balls right now.
No, not at all. Me, I use the bidet every day, and when I take a shit, right after I take a shit, I do the little twerk when I'm pushing on the bidet sprayer, and it just cleans it out all the way across. When I take a shit at some comedy club, when I have to take a shit sometimes, when I don't have the bidet, I gotta wipe it 100 times, and I just feel the itch, and it's horrible.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And I do hear a lot about it. All that itching you're always talking about. But anyway, enough of disgusting our listeners. Let's get on with the show and let people hear the comics that we have up. We had a really fun show. We have some great interviews and some very funny comedians that we talked to and that did their sets.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear him. And sorry to disgust you guys with all the shit talking, crap talking, ass talking, balls talking, circumcised talking podcast. But we're gonna wrap it up, and thanks for listening. And come out to our shows. Support us. Pay to get in. Don't be a freeloader.
Yeah, it's definitely worth $10 and something rare in LA, free parking. So check out our schedule on gtscomedyjam.com or GT's Comedy Jam Facebook page, and come on out for a live show last Thursday of every month at the Liquid Zoo. LA residents, are you tired of slippery floors? Are you afraid you might slip on your tile? Well, check out tightgripla.com. It's a local business coming out, surveying your floors, and treating it with a non-slip solution, a semi-permanent non-slip solution that will keep your floors safe, whether in the rain outdoors or indoors in the kitchen or bathroom areas that sometimes get wet and very slippery. So if you want safer floors and to not get injured while you're just walking around, check out tightgripla.com. Hey, Dive Bar Comedy listeners, what's up? It's Wild Joe.
And this is GT here at the Liquid Zoo.
And we have a very funny comic coming back on our show again. Jason Dugre, what's up?
Hey, what's happening? Thank you so much for having me back. I'm having a great time already. I love this band so much. I really do.
That sounded sarcastic, but then
it's not sarcastic at all. I just took a video, and I was about to post it on Instagram to get more people down here because they are underseen, in my opinion. They're awesome.
They're actually a new band. They had only performed a few times when we found them.
Really? Oh, they're fantastic. They're very well rehearsed. I think last time they played a Kiss song too, which is very close to my heart. And I was like, that's you don't see people do like old Kiss as covers. You don't see it.
Maybe they'll take requests.
I was gonna yell it out. I'm not that kind of person though. I don't yell like Freebird from the back of the room there.
Have you ever dressed as Kiss for Halloween?
Yes, recently. I dressed. So Kiss has an album called Dress to Kill where they all wear suits but the makeup. And one year when I was supposed to take my son trick-or-treating, and I was like, I don't have a costume. I have a suit, and I have makeup, and I have a wig, and I did Ace Frehley in a suit. And
why do you have makeup?
I just, I don't know. You never know when you're going to need it.
How about you? You have any makeup, GT?
Do I ever wear makeup?
Do you have any makeup? If you had to suddenly, today, they said, you have to dress like Kiss, would you be ready?
No, not at all. I don't have stuff like that ready to go.
Jason's a special guy.
Well, I also live a half a block from Halloween Town, so if I really am in a pinch, I can just go down there and get some like white face paint.
So Halloween Town, what happens the rest of the year to Halloween Town?
It's always Halloween in there. Halloween is a very big thing for me as well. So in the middle of the summer when it's like 95 degrees, I love walking in there. It's crisp and cool and air conditioned and scary. They still have like lightning effects going and stuff in August. So for me, it's where I can go and live Halloween all year round.
Wow, GT would love this place. GT's a Halloween lover himself.
Where's Halloween Town?
It's in Burbank on Magnolia. They have three storefronts. One of them's Halloween Town like proper, and then they have a costume one, and that also stays open 24/7, 365. And then there's a kids one, and that one closes down like after Halloween until like August.
So it's on Ventura?
No, it's on Magnolia. It's where like Porto's is. It's called Magnolia Park is the area that it's called now. That's the hip way of.
Porto's, by the way, is like the biggest bakery and most busy bakery you've ever seen. Yes. It's like as big as a giant supermarket, but all they sell is like cakes. Yep. It's delicious.
And the line's always down the block for good reason because it's amazing. Are we doing advertisements for these?
Yeah, we're doing advertisements. Hey, you people, Portos and what was the other one? Halloween Town. No, these are local attractions that people might not always know about. I found out about Portos at our baby's 1-year-old birthday party. I went in there to buy a cake, and I was like, I've just never seen anything like it.
It's unbelievable, and they have like a staff of like 100 people. One of my friends' dads is like obsessed with how many people they have working there, because it's just constantly they're just moving pastries out, and they're making them, putting them in, and moving them out, and moving them in.
Yeah, there was like half a cake left over at the end of the party. I ate it all myself. It was absolutely delicious.
That's the best way to eat cake is by yourself. I feel like at least a half a cake, not a whole cake. If it was a whole cake, I'd be like, all right, hold on a second. But a half a cake, that's fine.
I was a sheet cake, so no.
That's almost like a whole cake.
Already, they say sheet cake, half sheet, quarter sheet. It wasn't a full sheet. That's like serves like 200 people or something.
Yeah, it's a good area to live. I'll also, why not? I'll mention Black Cat Comics. It's right at the end of my street, and they're a nice little business. You go in there and get some comics, meet some nice people. You can even play a video game in there. So,
by comics, you mean books, not humans.
Exactly. Yes. I don't know. You can. I think they have a comedy night every once in a while.
All right. Well,
they had it for their anniversary. That's right. But I didn't ask to perform.
Maybe GT can book his next place at the comic book store.
No, I only book at dive bars right now. That's what I'm doing.
Such a snob.
Well, I'm just the scene I'm working with right now.
It's the name of the podcast. You can't start deviating from the name of the podcast. People would be like, "What is this? This is dive bar."
Exactly. What if we become too big? I don't know. I guess I don't know what we're gonna do.
We're gonna have a big problem on our hands when we get too big to do dive bars.
Yeah, it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing, like that people will just show up at all these dive bars. The dive bars will be like, we don't even know how to accommodate all these people, which would be great.
But there are bigger dive bars.
There are, sure. There's no limit to how big a dive bar can be, I don't think. Right?
Especially in smaller towns. Smaller town, bigger dive bar.
That's right. Yeah, I have a few of them in my hometown back in Boston, Massachusetts. I think most of them are dive bars. Doesn't matter what size.
Tell us about the scene in Boston.
Boston's amazing. I grew up, my wife now, she was my girlfriend back in college, but she worked at Nick's Comedy Stop, which is like one of the greatest small comedy clubs. And it's not even small, but I think it's considered maybe small. It's amazing. Like Dane Cook used to perform there, Stephen Wright performed there. It's like, and I think they still all drop in there. It's amazing. And
What's the scene like?
It's great. It's hard to get slots. It's like it's harder than here, I feel like, because there's less clubs and they're more discerning. Like you have to sort of know your way into places. Like if they don't know you, it's a lot harder to get in there.
They don't have open mics there?
They do have open mics, yeah. But I think a lot of people want to do them, so it's not a guaranteed slot, I think there's plenty of open mics around here that if you know the right ones you can go to and you can get in on a given night. You're not going to get shut out, but I think there's a lot.
What are the open mics that you got to put your name in, or they have to choose you, or how does it work?
I think it's different at different places. The ones that I did years ago, I put my name in, and I was called, and I went up after someone who did some musical, like acoustic thing.
Cool. I know Boston. What is the population? Do you know the Boston population? It's a pretty major city. It's not like a small town.
No, it's not a small town, but it's a small city. It's a small, on the scale of cities, it's a small city, but it's a great city.
Yeah, I only really know a lot, or I don't know a lot about Boston, but the only associations I have with Boston are I used to be a New Kids on the Block fan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't a fan, I can't say, but I did see them in concert. I think it was like a prerequisite if you were a teenager at the time that they hit, that you had to see them at some point.
It was my first concert, my first real concert, New Kids on the Block.
Mine was Kiss. And we bring it back around. Mine was Kiss when I was 6 years old.
Wow, 6 years old?
That's right. 6 years old. My dad was awesome. I don't think my mom knew we were going. My dad was like, we're going to Kiss. And I was terrified, and I closed my eyes for most of the show.
So one time I met this guy. Okay, I don't know a lot about Kiss, and this guy probably had a good scam going on. But I met this guy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a member of Kiss. My name is Peter." And he was hitting on me, and I'll never know if he was a member of Kiss or not, because Kiss always wears makeup, and this guy looked like a regular guy.
Was he older? I mean, like, how much older was he?
I don't know. He might have been 50. I don't know how old he was.
Well, because Peter Criss is the drummer for Kiss, and so there is a guy named Peter. I mean, that guy also could know there's a guy named Peter, and he could just assume that you just casually knew there's a guy named Peter, and he could have been scamming you, but it could have been Peter Criss.
Or I mean, who's going to ever recognize him with no makeup on? So this guy could be going around saying, "Oh, I belong to Kiss," and just nobody knows what he really looks like.
I mean, I'm a fan, and I'm not sure that I could pick him out of a lineup. I could probably pick the other three out of a lineup, but Peter Criss was always more elusive.
This guy has a good scam going.
He's got a great scam going. Well, I don't know, how well did it work on you? Did you? Were you like,
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
okay, well.
It was a public location. We never went to a private location or anything like that. But I always wondered, like, was I really talking to Peter Criss, drummer of Kiss, or just some guy that had a great scam?
Does GT know this story, or is he hearing this for the first time?
He hears a lot of things for the first time on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a good scam if it works. So if it didn't work on you, I guess it's not a great scam. But it could be a numbers thing. It could be like it works on 10 people, but I do it to like 50.
So, I mean, this guy says he was a member of Kiss, but how would I ever know? He didn't have his makeup on.
Does he walks around with the makeup?
No makeup, just looking like a regular guy.
Yeah, there was a guy walking around looked like Eddie Murphy's son, and he was saying he was Eddie Murphy's son, but he wasn't even Eddie Murphy's son. I found out he wasn't Eddie Murphy's son because he looked completely like Eddie Murphy.
I hung out at Eddie Murphy's house one time with his brother named Charlie Murphy, who I guess has actually passed away since then. But it is a beautiful, amazing, obviously incredible location, and we went to a party there. But Eddie Murphy, I didn't see him around.
Was that where you met Peter from Kiss?
That would have made me really believe it a little bit more. No, I didn't meet him there. That would have made it a little more believable.
Was it at the Liquid Zoo?
It was more along the lines of Liquid Zoo.
Okay, well, I mean, still, I'm not putting it past. It's still possible. It's still completely in the realm of possibility. This city's weird. I saw Paul Stanley. We're going all Kiss right now. I saw Paul Stanley at a soccer field when I was dropping my kid off to play soccer. He was walking with his kid. He walked right in front of my car, and I was like, that's Paul Stanley from Kiss.
No makeup,
but I know what he looks like in person because I've seen him, there. He's like the face of the band, so I know what he looks like. And I had to look up, does he live in L.A.? And he does. He lives in the area now. So I was like, wow. Because they're from New York originally.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this city.
So it's weird where you can run into people from Kiss. That's all I'm saying. You never know. Look around corners, look around this wall. Gene Simmons could be hanging out over there. I don't know what he's doing now. I mean, he's on tour. I do know what he's doing. I just saw Kiss a couple weeks ago, so I know what he's doing. He's on tour. He's not here.
Bringing it back around again. You start when you're 6, and then now I don't know how old you are, but you're a Kiss to Kiss to Kiss.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the modules to play some Kiss. I'm excited.
I'm going to let you get back in and request your songs of the modules. Where can people find you online?
They can find me online at, I'm on Facebook as my name, Jason Dugre, D-U-G-R-E. I'm at The J Fog is my handle in most places. It's like the fog, but with the letter J in the middle. So I'm at The J Fog at all the other things. Twitter, Instagram.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks for coming back on our show.
All right, Jason, thanks a lot for showing up, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. You guys are awesome.
Hey guys, you need a party tent, you need a commercial tent, you need a tent because you have no garage? Well, log on to webtentsale.com, WEBTENTSALE.com, and check out our site. This site is designed for commercial tents, party tents, and anything but camping tents. So if you need a tent because you have a party and you will need to buy it instead of renting it all the time, you're tired of throwing your money down the drain, well, go to our website, webtentsale.com, and check it out and order your tent right now.
You guys ready for the next comedian? Yeah! Are you ready for the next comedian? Yeah! That's right, you motherfuckers. Goddamn right. I like you guys. All right. Round of applause for yourselves. Hang out. Stick around. Kicking your back for fucking Liquid Zoo. Y'all buying drinks? Y'all drinking? Sure. Yeah. Make sure y'all tip like $1 or some shit. Or something. You know what I mean? Something. She's a nice girl. You know, I like her. You know, I always tip it good. That's me. But I'm also a pervert, so. I like everybody. I fuck this whole room. I can't lie to you. I'm a fucking pervert. My parents did terrible. But if it helps, my father was in the military, so, you know, military position all day.
Hey, there you go.
All day. All right, so we got the next comedian coming to the stage right now. I like this next guy's name. It's sweet. It's kind of, it's Australianish, yet Frenchy at the same time. I don't know this guy, but I like the way his name ends, and I can't wait to say this man's name. You know what I mean? It starts with a J, it ends with a D, and this man is a bad motherfucker because he's here with us. So why don't you put your hands together and show some love for Mr. Jason Dugre. Thank you, Mista See. Thank you, GT, Wild Joe. Let's hear it for all the comedians you've heard today. You guys didn't know this, but there actually is extra pressure tonight, because if we don't do good, this guy takes our soul. So it's pretty fucked up. So you have to at least laugh a little, or else we're fucked. My name is Jason Dugre. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a Libra. Yeah. Which, you know, that means absolutely nothing. It's the tomato thing.
That means everything.
Someone came up with it, and now we spend a lot of money on it. But I feel like I'm a good person, like in general. But I have to say, one time I did go see a movie called Cannibal Holocaust. Hey. Because life is all about balance. You know, you don't want to be too good. Speaking of balance, I'm having a hard time balancing my work life and my home life right now. Because I don't have a job. But I'll see those guys like spinning signs on the street corner, and I'm always like, fucking loser. I'm like, oh no, wait. No, he has a job. So then I go home, I take a shame nap because I feel the same way. Trying to get a job, alright, calm down. I'm applying at my favorite places like Shake Shack. You guys like Shake Shack? Yeah. Here's the cool thing about Shake Shack though. They are, well, it's In-N-Out's pretty great, but Shake Shack, you hear all these horror stories about these other restaurants that like spit in your food, or like, I don't know, someone puts their dick in the pickles or whatever. But Shake Shack is transparent when it comes to that stuff. They give you your shake, they put a sticker right on it, bam, says contains nuts. Alright. At least I know where that hair came from, you know?
There you go.
Yeah. I also applied at Trader Joe's, mostly because I gotta get in there and see a blueprint of a Trader Joe's, because I'm convinced that they all have a section that just says, and right here, built the shittiest parking lot in the world. Right? What is that? It's crazy. But in the meantime, I am a stay-at-home dad. That's right. Yeah. That's how I like to say it, because it sounds better than all of my lifelong dreams have been shit on and left in a dumpster. And I have to question all of my life's decisions while my son's at school for 6 hours a day. And then when I pick him up, I have to pretend to be happy, feed him, keep him clean and entertained for the next 8 hours until he goes to sleep. And then I get to finish binge watching the Great British Baking Show, because that's my time.
Not our time.
So stay-at-home dad rolls off the tongue a little easier than that, you know. Yeah, so language is important. It's always how you say things. Like, if I came up to you on the street and I was like, hey, how about a couple of eggs? You'd be like, great. But if I was like, hey, put these things in your mouth, they came out of a bird's vagina, you would punch me in the face. And I would deserve it. I would totally deserve it. But it's, I mean, you know, a booty call means something completely different to a pirate. Right? Language. It's very important, but it's a tough job. It's a tough job. The biggest thing I've learned about fatherhood is that I forgot to write a punchline for this joke. Because that's what kids give you. They give you unconditional love, but they give you a shit brain. That's true. Does anyone else here have memory problems? Anybody?
There we go.
How would you know? You wouldn't even know. But it's, you know what? Old age will cause that too. And I'm like, okay, I'm not old, but I feel like I'm 21 again, you know. But I'm 21 again. So, like, I just put it this way, I'm past, I don't need every party to go to the break of dawn. Like, I kind of want them to end at some point. You know, like, if I can get a heart out on your Evite, that would help me out a great deal. Yeah, thank you very much. I was at a party a couple weeks ago, and they had a porta potty there, and the company was named Call Ahead. And I was like, fuck, that company started with the name first. Some dude was sitting around, and he was like, oh my God, oh shit, oh that's too good. Fuck, well, fuck law school. I guess I'm going in the portable shitter business now. And that's another guy that has a job that I don't have. No, but being a stay-at-home dad has its perks. You know, for one thing, I get to stay at home, which is great. But you meet a lot of hot moms at the park, you know, which is awkward because, you know, they'll probably be married and they'll know I'm married because my kid's a narc. All right, that's my time, guys. Have a great night. Watch out for him. That's right. This is Jason Dugre.
Hey, ladies. You want some hot deals on sexy styles? Check out everydaysweetheart.com for everyday great deals on cute and sexy outfits, clubwear, mini dresses, leggings, sexy lingerie. And guys, feel free to stop by too and find something hot for the girl of your dreams. That's everydaysweetheart.com. And for 10% off, use the friend code TAKE10. That's TAKE10. Thanks a lot.
Hey guys, this is GT on Dive Bar Comedy Podcast. We got Martin Morrow here.
Martin Morrow. I'm Wild Joe. This is Martin Morrow.
Hello. I like that you're dressed like an investigative reporter right now.
I feel like, that's a good whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like one now.
Analogy, yeah. Is that the word here?
That was a comparison.
Comparison, yeah. I mean, it's the same semantics, but yeah.
So I'm a street reporter, and I also look like a sleuth.
Yes, exactly. I feel like you're about to solve a case and give birth.
You know what? Those two things could possibly happen tonight.
Whoa, I've always wanted to be either the type of person who runs into a fire to save a dog or a baby, or the type of person who has to help give birth.
While solving a case.
While solving a murder case, yes.
Hopefully not a murder case, but I don't know what kind of case, but maybe we could solve something. I have a case I want to solve. This place smells like piss. There's piss on the. We're in an alley, by the way. It smells like piss. Human piss.
Just this area right now smells like piss?
Well, I don't know about just right now. It's been going since I've been standing here, but I don't know if it's just this area because I haven't really moved around much. But definitely this area, for a while, for the last 30 minutes or however long I've been standing here, has smelled like piss the whole time.
Oh, maybe I don't sniff in as much as you do. I mean, I guess, yeah, okay, I can kind of get a whiff of something. But I think it's also the wind is, blowing, so I can't really smell the pee-pee.
It's not much of an investigative case because I'm sure what happened was somebody came and pissed on this wall or on the ground.
Right. Well, this is a good peeing wall. It has, really good tiles you can pee, and it'll just run down on the side and stuff, one of those those waterfall things.
It's pretty open to the public. Talk to him. There's some guy wants to talk to us, but GT is the person to talk to. This is the person you need to talk to.
Wow, that was weird.
I was just saying, this place is open to the public. There's no privacy.
Yeah, it is. Almost to too many people. That was
just said that, and then guess what happened? Can you describe it? Can you describe this, Martin Morrow?
Yeah, a guy who looks like a gecko became a dirty man. Walked up and tried to.
He looks like my dad.
I mean, then your dad looks like a dirty gecko man. But he walked up and tried to grab the microphone. He's like, "Is this a mic?" It's like, "Yeah, it's obviously a mic." But he wanted to talk into it to say, "Lord knows what." Was he a comic?
No. He's just like a regular bar patron.
Usually the drunk people are inside the bar. Today the drunk people are on the outside of the bar.
I hate that I left my drink in there. It's fine.
Probably the guy that was pissing on the wall. I think as a sleuth, I've solved my first case.
You did. Congratulations. Now you have to, I think, file taxes as a sleuth, right?
I don't know. I need some income. I don't know if that guy's going to pay me for solving that case.
Your drink is still in there. Your drink is still in there.
Does it have any loogies in it or anything like that?
I don't think so. It's just fine. It's sitting there by itself.
This is how you get roofied.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been drugged, but never mind. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I would assume that's how that happens. I should have put a napkin over it, but it's whatever.
Can I tell you about a news story I read today? Cardi B. It was a 3-year-old, I don't know if an interview or podcast or something, where she admitted to drugging and robbing her strip club customers when they tried to meet her for sex outside of the club.
I read about that as well, and I think one guy on Facebook posted a picture of it and saying that he had a fiance at the time, and it happened to him, and he woke up with like $800 missing from his wallet and a used condom, like also outside and all this stuff. And I was like, dang, that sucks.
Well, at least she fucked him.
I mean, but that's still rape. I wouldn't want to get raped by anybody. Even
he probably arranged, like, hey, come to my room and I'll pay you. I thought she was just drugging them and robbing them, but she's fucking him, drugging him, and robbing him. So she had no qualms about including the sex as part of the deal.
I guess. I mean, she seems like I don't want to say a free spirit, but yeah, that's, but I think there's two sides to every story. So he
might be lying. He might be one of those Me Too type people that's just saying, me too, me too.
I would never say that. I think, oh my God. No, not Beyonce. Beyonce would never. Cardi B. I think my personal feelings is that there's three sides of every story. There's his side, her side, and the truth. So we can put together whatever we want about really any situation, be it this one or Michael Jackson or R. Kelly or Louis C.K., like literally anybody. But you have to look at the value of what a person's trying to do with their future, and if they have learned from their mistakes, and if they're willing to clean up and grow from that.
Oh wow, what an enlightened point of view. I mean, I feel like these guys, I don't want to say they're asking for it, because that's like not exactly the truth, but I don't know. This is like the people that say, oh, the women that are hanging out with Bill Cosby, they're asking for it because they're obviously trying to get famous off of him or whatever. But these guys are engaging in some shady behavior, having unknown hookers come to their room, and anything could happen. It's too bad that they got victimized, but at the same time, it's a dog-eat-dog world.
Well, I don't know about that. It's not to say that you're wrong or I'm wrong or whatever. I do think that, people get into situations hoping that they will be of sound mind and body and able to consent to whatever that occasion kind of withstands. So as someone who's been unconscious and had stuff happen to me, I know it's not very fun to kind of wake up to. But I hope that Cardi B and Bill Cosby and whoever else, they whatever they've done, if they've done anything, they find their accountability, and I hope that the people who feel they were victimized or weren't victimized find peace with it.
Well, that's very nice of you. She did admit to actually doing it, and I, as far as consenting, I mean, nobody consents to being robbed. So they were going in thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get laid, and maybe they were gonna pay or maybe not, but I don't think that they wanted to get drugged and robbed. So that was definitely a wrong thing for her to do, and it puts a bad name for hookers or sex workers and strippers, because people are like, oh, you can't trust a stripper, you can't trust a hooker. But the fact is, there are not all hookers and strippers would do that to somebody. That's a really shady, fucked up thing to do to somebody, to drug and rob them when, they're supposed to be having a consensual, though transactional, sexual encounter.
I agree. One of my very best friends is a stripper, and she's an amazing stripper, and we have slept together in the past before, and it's always been fun and consensual and safe and all that stuff, and but never transactional. So I don't know if that like kind of diverts it from Cardi B situation. But I would hope that that they still are like comfortable and peaceful despite this story coming out with Cardi B and with her admittance of the situation as well.
Well, it's also goes to show you that when things are illegal and they're not regulated and there's no recourse, you're going to have more problems, people taking on criminal stances, like the same as a drug dealer or something. A lot of them have vigilante justice and guns and things like that because they can't sue each other if somebody gives them a bad business deal. And the same goes for, meeting a hooker in your hotel room. You can't call the cops and be like, hey, this hooker robbed me.
Yeah, I think there should be a Yelp for hookers. I think that would be the best thing. If sex workers had like a kind of Better Business Bureau Yelp style thing where it's like, oh, well, or even like there's a lot of like Finsta accounts and premium Snapchats. It's like, oh, well, this is the kind of stuff you'll get based off of my review of XYZ. But also this person, I woke up and my spleen was missing or whatever. I think that would be the best method to be regulated throughout the system.
Yeah, and having it made legal just would offer protection for both sides because a lot of hookers get murdered. Also, a lot of people feel like they're disposable or they have intimate access to this woman on a one-on-one basis, and they just decide to kill her or they disappear. They think nobody cares about this person, which is not necessarily true. And so there's victims on both sides because it's an underground economy.
I agree. I think that's going to be my platform when I run for president. It's save sex workers and start up a website. And also I think everyone should be able to have at least one fight in their adult life.
All right. GT, how do you feel about fighting? Do you think it's okay to have one fight in your adult life? A punching fight?
Sure.
Just one?
Unless you're not the one who's provoking it, someone else is trying to pick on you or something, yeah.
So you think it should be unlimited and if it's self-defense?
Yeah, unlimited. Why would there be a limit? I don't know. It's like if someone wants to fight you and you have to defend yourself.
Do you have any tips and tricks for people that want to get in a bar fight?
Tricks?
For throwing a punch?
Well, you have to know how to throw a punch. If you don't know how to throw a punch, you're going to end up breaking your hand. You have to know how to, I would say learn how to throw a punch. You're going to break your hand, and you're going to be in a cast.
Good advice from GT. All right. Well, Martin Morrow, it's always fun having you on our show. I can't wait to hear your set tonight.
Thank you. It should be fun. And this band is, they're pretty okay.
Good. I'm glad you like the modules. And where can people find you online?
Hey, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Martin M. Morrow, spelled like tomorrow, so MartinM, then MORROW, and I have a website coming soon called martinmorrow.com, so be sure to check that out. And yeah, and I post all my shows on Instagram as well, so I mean.
Cool. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hey guys, you need flooring because your floors got messed up during the last party. You need flooring because your dog urinated all over the place and it's all brown and stained and it's buckling and it's warping because of your dog. You were out doing comedy. No one was home. Well, log on to selectflooring.biz. Selectflooring.biz. B-I-Z. And hit them up. Call them up. Say, hey, what your situation is.
So this guy coming up to the stage, I think he is the real Eminem. I don't know why. Maybe it has something to do with his name, or maybe it's just me. But this guy's going to give you some love and show you what it's all about. You ready for the next Eminem coming up to the stage? Hell yeah! So why don't you put your hands together and show some love for the Eminem godson, Mr. Martin Morrow!
Yeah, all right. How we doing, everybody? Good. Man, I love Mr. See. Nothing says I don't know anything about this comic than this is this guy's name. Here's a fun version of it. It's been a good night of comedy, man. We had a lot of really fun comics. This has been dope. I think, yeah, right? I want to say, my favorite part of the whole night, I've been sitting at the bar the whole time, and when, I don't know if you guys remember Wild Joe, I think she was like second or third up here, but she said, Meghan Markle is going to have a baby who might take over the throne. And this lady in the back goes, I hope not. Like, holy shit. Goddamn, either you're a racist or you think like a literal baby is going to take over the throne in England. Also, we don't live there, so it won't affect you at all. And double also, that means nothing. Like, the queen does nothing except for, like, appearances. Like, I'm old, and that's all she does over there. But good on you, and you're hopefully not racist. So, we'll see. But that, but I also, like, I view racist shit differently because I'm from Alabama, and I'm black. I don't know if you can tell by that part. Oh, you noticed? Thank you, sir. Good. And so like, I watch this shit differently than like a lot of other people, right? Like, I was watching Scooby-Doo recently. I did like a whole Scooby-Doo marathon because I was high. And I got mad at fucking Scooby-Doo. So I was like, you mean to tell me that out of all the seasons of Scooby-Doo, all the movies of Scooby-Doo, the only fucking black people who've helped him solve a mystery are the goddamn Harlem Globetrotters? How is that a thing? He had a little talking dog cousin named Scrappy-Doo. He had Batman and Robin with him at one point. But the only black people out of 600 years of Scooby-fucking-Doo are the Harlem Globetrotters. That's some bullshit right there. That's all I'm trying to say.
I remember that episode.
Too bad. I do think, though, there's one lesson we have all learned from Scooby-Doo, and that's the fact that no matter who you are or where you're from, we have all learned from Scooby-Doo that every single old rich white dude is evil.
Yes.
Every fucking one, right? That's what I liked about it. At the end of every episode, they'd unmask the guy, be some old rich white curmudgeon of a man who's trying to evade taxes from his carnival or some shit. And he go, I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids and that nigger dog. Yeah. Scooby-Doo got real. It was wild, man. I like shows like this that are diverse and stuff, man. Like, there's been a real good lineup of different people, and I try to like do different shows. Like, I recently did a show at a retirement home, which I would never do that again. I went there and like I don't know if you guys have like gone to a retirement home for fun. But it's just like watching people die slowly. It's the saddest shit. And so they're like, hey, just avoid any like topics that might get them kind of riled up. I was like, I don't know what could get them riled up, but cool. And so I went up and I was doing terribly, right? And I said, all right, look, it might be weird for you because a lot of you are looking up here at me and thinking, oh, I used to own someone who looks like him, right? And this old lady in the back yells out, no, he was much darker. I was like, God damn. It just hurt my whole heart. Where was he from? Why was he so dark? I did this show in Inglewood this past Saturday, and it was bad. Because like the host got too drunk and forgot me, right? Which like it would be fine. It was a nigga show, and I say that with all heart and reverence. Like, there's a big difference between like a black people show and a nigga show. This is definitely all 100% nigga. And I knew it was a nigga show because the first comic that went up was like, I was in prison for 22 years, 12 months, and 13 days. I was like, God damn, that is specific. He really went to prison. That is a real prisoner right there. He was my favorite part. He was talking about shit that, like, his comic timing was just about things that are normal to us, but him as a prisoner was different. Like, it was beautiful in a way, but also like, no, man, that's just everyday life. He was like, I saw people in skinny jeans. What the fuck is that? I was like, it's just pants. I don't know why you're so angry right now. I saw a phone with an eye in front of it. What the fuck is that? That's an iPhone. What are you talking about right now? Cool. You're right. No, they're right on that one. But so here's what ended up happening though. I was there for 4 hours because, like I said, nigga show, and you know, the first 2 hours there was no show because they were late. So it started to wind down, and the host was like, "All right, we got 2 comics left," and I was like, "Hey, am I one of those 2 comics?" And he says, "Man, shit, I forgot you was here. Why you ain't say nothing?" I was like, "I did. I said hey to you. You also texted me earlier today and sent me a message on Facebook and a message on Instagram." And he goes, "Damn, I gotta take a piss." And I'm like, "What's that have to do with me? Why is that an issue right now?" So he goes and pees, and I'm waiting for him, and he comes out, and I'm like, "Hey, you know, I was just curious, like, you know, what's going on?" He goes, "All right, you got 2 options. You can either square up or come back next week." What the fuck? Why are those the only 2 options? Like, fight you or fucking perform next week? Those are the worst 2 options I've ever heard. That's like just the most. That'd be like if you went to McDonald's, right? And you went to the drive-thru and they said, "Oh, we're sorry, the fries aren't ready yet, but you can either fight me right now or just drive around." Like, I'm gonna drive around. Why would I fight? I'm gonna fight you. That's a felony. I'm not gonna do that shit. Stupid. But I think somebody earlier mentioned white girls. They're fucking crushing it this season, right? They've been just ruining lives left and right. Something happened to this guy. They all like, "Oh yeah, he just beat a rape charge. He just beat a rape charge. This rape charge Ricky." Yeah, dude. That's why I feel like people are always like, "I'm scared of sharks. Sharks are scary." Dude, sharks are not fucking scary. Sharks kill 6 people a year. White women ruin countless lives per decade. They are just out there killing people in their careers. That's what they do. That's why I feel like Shark Week should be replaced with White Woman Week. That's what we should do. Right there. It would just be like a whole week of episodes of Girls and The View and fucking all those videos of white women calling the police on black people for existing. That would be the perfect. All right. You guys were on board with the first part, but not the second. That's fine. All right. I'm going to leave you guys with this. So I got 2 white roommates. Can we give you a tax break for it? Highly recommend it. One of my white roommates is always fucking. He puts on music when he fucks, as mentioned earlier. But he always puts on like very white, folksy music. And I was like, "Hey man, could you do me a favor, play some black shit so I'll feel more comfortable?" He's like, "I got you, buddy." So the next night he has another girl over, and I hear from the other room, "All my life I have to fight, nigga." You can scale it back a bit. Start with Milli Vanilli or something. That would be a lot better. All right, thank you guys. Follow me on Instagram at Mark and Morrow. Thank you.
Oh man, boy, tore that shit up. Another round of applause for Mr. Mark Morrow. Also a great round of applause for all the comedians that have come to the stage tonight. You guys are all fabulous, outstanding. Great job. And also, as a point of defense, my man is from Philly. It's not his fault.
Attention all drinkers. Attention all drinkers. Do you like a smooth tasting vodka that goes down with no burn? How about Global Vodka, straight from Italy? Check it out. You can find it at global-vodka.com. Not only does it have a smooth, great taste, it also is gluten-free and organic for you health nuts. So try Global Vodka. You can find it at global-vodka.com, or next time you're in LA, check it out at Universal Bar and Grill. All right, that's our show. Come listen to us live at the last Thursday of every month at Liquid Zoo. We also have other shows posted. Check us out on GT's Comedy Jam Facebook page or gtscomedyjam.com, or subscribe to our podcast, divebarcomedy.com. You can check us out on iTunes at Dive Bar Comedy or on Spotify. Check us out. We come out every Wednesday. Thanks for listening.